Okay, so something that's changed in the 10 years that I've worked at Salesforce. I keep saying Salesforce.com, it's kind of funny. Now we have that on tape. Thank you very much. This will be my last keynote I ever do. Something that's changed quite dramatically in the 10 years that I've worked here is that we are now talking about our relationship with our customers using the word strategic partner. And that is really, really interesting to me, right? And one of the responsibilities we have when that thing starts to happen is to start to talk more explicitly about who we are as a company and what our core values are. The other thing that's going on at Salesforce is we're hiring lots and lots of employees. And so we've made a big concerted effort this year to put this slide together and really talk about who we are as a company. And I sort of mentioned this before, but trust is probably the most important word on this slide, right? The litmus test at Salesforce, whenever you're trying to make a decision, A or B, does it have anything to do with trust and the reliability and the security of our products and our platform? There is absolutely nothing that comes above that. And that is ingrained in all of our minds, right? It is core to who we are as a company. These next two words, I think, are really interesting because I think they're related. And that's innovation and growth, right? We're a technology company, and our job is to go fast. Our job is to think about the future. Our job is to constantly improve this product so that you can constantly improve your implementations. And the result of that is growth. Salesforce growing, but also you growing, you using our tool, you using our platform to grow your companies. And these two things sort of have this magical relationship with each other. There's this mindset of constantly improving and constantly growing that applies to us, but also applies to you. And the fourth word on this slide, which is probably new this year and new for us to be talking about out loud, is equality. We think it's our responsibility to create an environment that allows every single person that interacts with our company or works at our company an equal playing field and equal opportunity. And this quote that you see in the bottom right-hand corner here from our CEO, Mark Benioff, is my favorite quote of the year, which is, "The business of business is to improve the state of the world." And we absolutely believe that and live that at Salesforce.com. So that's our core values. Okay, here we go. Now let's get to the slide that is my favorite slide at Salesforce.com. I did it again. I think I need to pay everyone $1 every time I do that. It would be very expensive. Okay, $100? Thank you, okay. I'm up to 100, she said, thank you. All right, this slide, for me, the way I present this is that we are all incredibly lucky to be sitting here right now in this room, in this industry, in information technology. We should all consider ourselves incredibly lucky to be here right now. Okay, and let me explain why. Okay, if you think about the history of information technology as it applies to corporations and companies, traditionally IT is there to make a company or make an employee more productive or more efficient. How do you squeeze more value out of a given set of resources? And you can use these incredible tools, these IT tools, to do that. And that is a noble thing. I'm not saying that's bad, and plenty of people use Salesforce to do that. It's a great thing. But something really, really interesting is happening right now in our industry, and that is because of cloud and mobile and social and data science and the Internet of Things. These things are coming together and allowing us to use information technology to change the very nature of the products and the services and the companies that we all represent, right? Every single product is now being wrapped with a layer of information technology. And what it does is it allows you to connect to your customers in completely new ways, right? It creates what we call the age of the customer, okay? This is an amazing time to be working in our industry, and I think it makes it a lot more fun to be thinking about how do we use IT in an organization. So that's just a slide. Let me give you some examples. We have pulled together 4 of the best examples that we could find from our customer base to talk to you about this idea. Okay, so what's the date today? I don't know. I'm giving a presentation, so I can't remember things like that. It's pretty close to tax season. How many people have finished your taxes? Okay, congratulations. How many people haven't? Me. Okay, how many people in this room remember what it was like to do taxes before TurboTax? Like seriously, yes. We used to get the paper out, go to the post office. It's crazy, right? They've completely changed our approach to doing our taxes and made it easier Okay, so the people at Intuit, their job is to make it easy to do taxes, okay? And they said, how can we use information technology to make it even easier to do your taxes? And they said, well, here's an idea. Why don't we create it inside the mobile application that people are using to do their taxes, we'll just add a button, and whenever you have a question, something's confusing you, you just press that button, and a real live expert pops into the mobile application, and you're immediately into a video chat with an expert, and you can ask them anything you want about your taxes, and they'll answer the question and make it easier to do your taxes. And so you're thinking, okay, why do they do that? First thing is they want to provide great customer support. But that's not really why they did it. The real reason they did it is that this is now the defining characteristic. This is now the unique characteristic about why you should decide to use TurboTax versus any other software application out there. So much so that they decided to do a national ad campaign and do a Super Bowl commercial around that feature. And so I know there's a lot of people out there who are in the customer service area. Right? Isn't that amazing, right? That they are taking something that's traditionally we think of, hey, let's just do that as effectively and cheaply as possible. It's just kind of something we have to do. And they've completely flipped it around into the defining characteristic of the reason that you should buy their product. That is absolutely amazing. Next story. Company that hopefully some of you have heard of. Probably the #1 brand in the world, Coca-Cola. Right? And all of us probably think that we are customers of Coca-Cola, and of course we are. Right? But Coca-Cola also thinks about the little mom and pop retail stores, little sandwich shops, little grocery stores that are all over the world that they think of them as their customers. And they have a whole team of salespeople who are out there actually sort of acting as business advisors to these organizations, because very often Coca-Cola product and their ability to effectively sell Coca-Cola product has a lot to do with how successful that business is. And so what you see there is a thing Coca-Cola calls the red score, right? And what this is Coca-Cola taking all of the information that they know about every single company that they distribute product with and putting it into a mobile application so that every salesperson can have all the information that they need every single time they're in front of a customer and make the perfect recommendation at that moment in time. Like, there's no reason that every single salesperson at Coca-Cola now isn't the smartest salesperson at Coca-Cola and helping those customers do a better job selling and succeeding as a business. All right, so this next story is my favorite, okay? How many people have ever played with a Matchbox car? Pretty cool. Every single person in this room, I hope. If not, go buy one. So Mattel. Right? Mattel is a company that has a relationship probably with every single person in this room. We've all had toys from Mattel. And what Mattel is doing is saying, how do we use information technology to have a relationship with every single person that interacts with our products over the course of their lifetime? From the first moment when a family buys a toy from Mattel, how do we capture that? And how do we use that information so that we can create a one-to-one journey with that person as they grow, with that child as they grow, right up until that moment when you're 8 years old and you get your first Hot Wheels car. But now let me tell you where the story gets really cool, right? So when you buy that Hot Wheels car, you used to rip it open and throw the package away. Instead, what you do now is you take the package and you flip it over and you scan this code on the outside of the package. And when you do that, you can take that Hot Wheels car that you just bought and you can play it inside of an iPhone app. A game that allows you to take the physical car that you're playing with and augment it with this layer of information technology that also allows Mattel to capture that interaction in the next Hot Wheels car. You can put that in the game, and it really is amazing. If we can take information technology and wrap it around a Hot Wheels car and make that customer experience better, there's really nothing that we can't do. I mean, this is to me, I'm going to go buy one and play around with my game after I don't have a job for saying Salesforce.com too much. Last story. This is the hardest one to understand, actually. And this is, how do we get smarter? How do we get smarter? How many people have heard of Uber? How many people took an Uber to get here today? Yeah, it's pretty crazy, pretty scary. Okay, how many people have heard this statistic? My favorite statistic. 90% of the world's data is created in the last 12 months. It's kind of amazing. I think we've all gotten the picture now. We all understand this world of big data, right? We all know that we need to be capturing and collecting all of this information about our businesses and about our interactions with customers. The truth is we're not really sure what to do with it. So we're going to give you this example of Uber, one of the smartest companies in the world, and how they're using it. So everybody, all you people, raise your hand, you've used Uber before, but how many people have been hit with surge pricing? You're like, damn it, surge pricing, I don't want to pay extra. But then when you understand what they're doing with that, it kind of makes sense, right? Because what Uber's doing is they're saying, we have too many requests for rides right now. The sort of supply and demand of rides and requests is out of whack right now. So we're going to raise the price a little bit, not to make more money, but to send a signal out to all the drivers that are out there in the world, not on the road, not driving, and tell them, hey, there's a lot of people out there looking for rides and trying to rebalance that equation. That is an incredible use of data science and data in real time to improve the customer experience. And so then you say, okay, fine, I'll pay a little extra, and hopefully when I'm ready to go home, there's more drivers on the road and I'm gonna get home faster. Okay, so now, hopefully, kind of some, the wheels are turning in your head, you're thinking about how do you apply this to your business. The truth is, we all know this, right? We all know that our customers are over here and they want and expect us to be smarter. They want these things from Salesforce, or they want these things from all of us, But we're not there yet. We're not doing this. I personally agonize over this even at Salesforce, right? Are we doing enough? Are we going fast enough? Are we leveraging these ideas and these technologies to close this gap, to connect to our customers more effectively? It's sort of never ending. It's not like a project that you're going to be able to complete. It's something that you have to be constantly focused on. And the trick, of course, the solution, you're here at our event, is the customer success platform from Salesforce, right? Become a customer company. Connect to your customers in whole new ways. Run your business from your phone. Build one-to-one customer journeys and get smarter about every single thing you do and every interaction that you have with your customers. And the results sort of speak for themselves, right? Look at this, 37% increase in revenue, 45% increase in customer satisfaction. I'm not going to read every statistic on this slide. We have teams and teams of people at Salesforce to help explain all of this. But the success and the fact that we have so many people in this room and these stories sort of speak for themselves. Another idea that I want to talk to you about Salesforce and our product suite is a lot of enterprise software companies will say, look, we've got this suite of applications, and none of them individually are that good. But together, they all work together and they're better. But what's unique about Salesforce, and this has a lot to do with the platform at Salesforce, what's unique about Salesforce is we have 7 industry-leading applications all built on one platform. Number 1 in sales, number 1 in service, number 1 in marketing, number 1 in communities, and number 1 in the app cloud and our platform. And it's really because it's all built on this common customer success platform. And if you remember before about multi-tenancy, it is constantly getting better and better and better. 3 times a year, I refer to it as Christmas, 3 times a year, when we come out with a new release of Salesforce, we make the whole thing better. And in between the last time we were in Chicago and today, a year ago, we had a little event we called Dreamforce. And at Dreamforce, we launched Lightning, which I think is the most important release that we have ever done in the history of Salesforce, right? Because we are delivering a completely new user experience and a completely new platform to make it easier for you to create those user experiences across every single device or screen that you could possibly ever imagine. Whether or not you want to access Salesforce on your phone, or your wristwatch, or your tablet, or your desktop, or your TV, the Lightning platform will allow you to have a seamless user experience across any interaction that you have with Salesforce, and it's going incredibly well. The other thing that we did, which I also consider to be a huge milestone for our company, is that we launched our first 2 industry applications, the Health Cloud and the Financial Services Cloud. And for those of you who are in these verticals or in these industries and thinking about this, this is an incredibly powerful thing, right? Because Salesforce is now large enough that we are able to take product teams, we're able to take whole divisions and focus focus them on these very specific problems so that we can create out-of-the-box applications that will allow you to get up and running faster, that will allow you to get successful faster. And this is, like I said, this is an incredibly important milestone, and I think just the very, very beginning of where we are headed in terms of industry applications. And now, it's actually my personal last slide, but my favorite, because this is what I spend all of my time doing, right? This is me and the development organization thinking all day long about how do we make that next release great? What are the things that we are going to put in that next release that are going to help you go faster, help you grow, and help you innovate? Help you innovate and help you grow, right? Offline for Salesforce 1, omni-channel for customer support and service, right? My favorite part of this slide, which if anybody is interested in seeing a demo of, is mobile two-factor authentication. It's kind of geeky, right? Someone laughed. There you go. Thank you very much. That's awesome. It is. It is awesome, right? And when you see this, you're going to go, wow, this is pretty cool what Salesforce is doing with mobile two-factor authentication. Hopefully that's not the highlight of the whole thing. It is for me. So look, that is the end of my section of the presentation.